Okay, so I've got Exhibit 17 as looks like a 2-page document. The first page has some writing and a picture, and then the second page is it's like a blow up of that picture. Is that right?
Yes.
And, all right, this will be marked as Exhibit 1 for purposes of today's hearing. Go ahead and show that to Mr. Hunsicker.
I'm showing you the second page of today's hearing exhibit number 1. And on the lower right corner, I'll note it's dated April 17, 2021, 8:42. Can you describe what is depicted in that photograph?
This is the steel racking, or the wire racking, that pallet racking that I was standing on, and the cord. These are our cord reels, and the one on the left-hand side of the picture is the one we had to move. That was where the center cord reel is. We were moving it from the center over to the left-hand side where it is placed now.
And based on your prior testimony, the hook that's hanging in the center, is that from the overhead crane?
That is from a 5-ton overhead crane, yes.
Okay. And from your prior testimony, did you indicate that that crane hook would not reach over to the left?
Correct. That would not reach out to the left-hand side of that picture.
Okay. So by moving that reel to the left, you said there's another reel in the center. How did that reel get there? Is that the reel that needed to be placed there, or was that already there when you were on the pallet rack?
Objection leading.
I don't think that was leading. I'll let the witness answer the question, Mr. Hunsicker.
The reel on the left-hand side was placed right where the reel is in the center, and we had to get up on the racking, steel racking, the wire racking, because the cord reel, the base on the cord reel is a metal plate, and it gets caught in the steel wire mesh on the pallet racking. So you have to kind of crab walk it over to the wall on the left-hand side, and the reel that we were putting up there was empty. The reel that's in the center of the racking now has a wire spool on it. And we were talking that the reel on the left-hand side is 200 some pounds with all the wire on.
All right, and the top of this rack is exactly 4 feet?
Yes.
Okay. And the area that you said was your work area that was obscured by the broken up pallet, where would that be depicted in this photograph?
That would be off the picture to the right-hand side.
In the foreground of the photo?
Well, if you look next to the racking, there's a forklift parked there.
Uh-huh.
There's an aisleway there where the forklifts run, and to the right of that forklift would be my work area.
I see. And the next exhibit we're looking at is Exhibit 15. It's respondents' responses to requests for production of documents, requests for admissions and interrogatories.
Okay. That'll be marked as Exhibit 2 for today's hearing. Go ahead, Attorney Olson.
All right. And Mr. Hunsicker, in this case, you recall that we issued discovery requests to your former employer, Charter Steele Division,
Yes,
and they provided responses to our requests.
yes,
And those responses were certified to be true and accurate, as indicated in hearing exhibit number 2.
yes,
And in their responses, did they identify that there were 2 men on the date that you were on the pallet rack who had violated safety protocol at the plant?
yes.
Action leading.
Okay, let me just interject here. Which interrogatory are we talking about, Attorney Olson?
We're looking at request to admit number 20, for example,
Okay, let me get to
on page 22.
okay, so it says request to admit number 22, admit that Mr. Hunsicker was allowed to work for 5 days after he stood on the shelf. That doesn't seem to comport with what your question was to Mr. Hunsicker.
It's request to admit number 20
Number 20.
on page 22.
Okay, I'm going to allow the witnesses answer in this particular case. I mean, it does reflect information that was provided during the discovery process. Mr. Hunsicker, I don't know, did you respond to the question or not? I'm not.
I believe I did respond to it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Then the response stands. Next question, Attorney Olson.
All right. And had you ever been disciplined prior to being terminated?
No,
Did the company use progressive discipline as a policy? In other words, give advance warnings before they would terminate an employee?
yes,
Object leading again.
yes,
I'm going to let the witness respond to the question. Mr. Hunsicker, what's your response?
yes. They would give out a DML or one day off, 2 days off, 3 days off, and a DML they called it.
Do you know what DML stands for?
Dismissal. No, I don't exactly know anymore.
It's something less than a termination of employment?
Yes, they put you on probation for a year, and if you have another safety violation or any other violation, call in sick or whatever, they can terminate you.
All right, and the 2 individuals who engaged in a safety violation on the day that you were on the pallet rack, who were they?
Object to foundation and object to leading.
it was not a leading question, that's for sure. To the extent that the employee was personally aware of these individuals, I'll let the witness respond.
Mr. Ader and Mr. Gilbert.
And through the discovery responses provided by the respondent, were you aware of how old they were?
Yes,
Okay. And were these individuals at least 10 years younger than you were?
yes.
And what was their safety violation?
Lockout tagout, OSHA lockout tagout violation.
And what is a lockout tagout violation?
Locking out a breaker for a motor or any energy to a motor or drive.
And is a lockout tagout violation significant based on the training that you received through the company?
Yes,
And why is it significant?
person could be injured or killed if energy is reinstalled on a machine or a drive or a motor without being locked out, and if they're working on it, could seriously injure or kill them.
And I think you've already answered it based on the discovery responses, but you are aware that these two men were not terminated for a lockout tagout violation. Is that correct?
Correct. They were given the DML.
Okay. Is that, does that refer to decision-making leave?
Yes.
Objection leading. The witness already
You
testified.
know what? It was leading, but it's a term that's used in the discovery. It's not controversial in any way. The witness's response stands. Next question.
Okay. We offer admission of those two exhibits.
I take those the admission of exhibits up at the end of the hearing, so we'll just wait until then to determine whether they'll be received as exhibits.
Okay. Prior to being terminated, had you ever been warned that you were not allowed to stand on a 4-foot pallet rack?
Yes.
And in terms of actually being disciplined, where somebody said, prior to the April 1 incident, did anyone say you were not to be on the pallet rack?
Yes.
All right, that completes my examination.
Okay.
And complainant rests.
All right. Attorney Ford, questions for Mr. Hunsicker?
Yes. Mr. Hunsicker, do you still have what's been marked as Exhibit 1 that your attorney had you look at a few moments ago? Is that still in front of you?
So the picture, yes.
Do you also have the first page of that exhibit? Again, it's complainant exhibit 17, charter bait stamp 000694.
Mr. Hunsicker, do you have that document? It's,
Yes. We did find it, yes.
okay. Go ahead, Attorney Foy.
Can you please confirm that the top of that document says FPR violation investigation, Eric Hunsicker?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. And do you see after questions 1, 2, and 3, there's a narrative component to that document?
No object, this is hearsay.
Well, she hasn't asked a question other than whether that the witness observes that portion of the document that shows a narrative. Mr. Hunsicker, do you see that?
Yes.
Next question.
Is it accurate that the first sentence there says the observation happened on Friday, 4:16 a.m. by the maintenance manager?
Yes.
Object, hearsay.
All right, I'm going to let the attorney, ask questions of the witness on this narrative. So to the extent that you want to continue in violation, I'll allow that. But I'm going to let the attorney ask the witness about this narrative. Go ahead, Attorney Foy.
Mr. Hunsicker, you testified earlier that this incident where you were caught climbing the pallet shelving happened on April 1st. You then testified that you worked April 1st through the 5th. Based on the document in front of you, those aren't accurate dates, are they?
Object, calls for speculation. Document speaks for itself, but he didn't write these statements, Judge, so I don't think my prior objection covers this.
Mr. Hunsicker was personally present and can testify as to the date that this happened. So, Mr. Hunsicker, go ahead and answer the question.
He has the dates that are on here are wrong.
Mr. Hunsicker, do you recall that you were deposed in this matter?
I was what?
Deposed, that another attorney, Platt, from our office took your deposition?
Yes.
And that deposition occurred on August 12th, 2022, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have Mr. Hunsicker's deposition transcript that I can screen share and would like to offer it for rebuttal purposes with respect to the dates of his violation.
All right.
Your Honor, you need to make me the host or presenter so that I can screen share, please.
All right. Let's take a look at this.
These dates are all right.
What part of this am I supposed to highlight or click on to allow you to do the screen share, Attorney Foy?
I am not sure what your host controls allow you to do, but when I click the share button, it says the host needs to make me the presenter.
Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, all right. So something is coming up here. It looks like this is some document that I think this is the last exhibit that Attorney Olson.
Yeah, that's our exhibit 23.
So that wasn't the right button, obviously. Okay. Well, so bad. Okay. It looks like I was sharing there. Okay. I confess I don't know exactly how to do that. No, that's not what we want. Well, in the absence of being able to do that, why don't you go ahead and just read from the deposition and ask Mr. Hunsicker if that was the responses that he gave. This is usually not a controversial aspect of a hearing. So go ahead, Attorney Foy.
Mr. Hunsicker, during your deposition where you were under oath, you testified, question, when you were at work at Charter Steele, did you climb on a shelf on April 16th of 2021? Answer, yes. Question, was that shelf approximately 6 feet above the ground? Answer, yes. Is that your testimony from your deposition?
You cut out on the end of both of those statements.
I can reread the testimony. The question during the deposition was, when you were at work at Charter Steele, did you climb on a shelf on April 16th of 2021? Answer, yes. Question, was that shelf approximately 6 feet above the ground? Answer, yes. Was that your deposition testimony, Mr. Hunsicker?
Yes.
So your testimony earlier today, when you said that this shelf climbing incident occurred on April 1st, that was not correct, was it? Please don't look at your attorney, sir.
I didn't hear the date in the deposition. I heard the height. I didn't hear anything about the date.
The question,
I'm objecting that it's not impeachable.
the question from the deposition was, when you were at work at Charter Steele, did you climb on a shelf on April 16th, 2021?
That date is wrong.
Which date is wrong?
Okay, well, the question to the witness was whether or not he testified to that in his deposition. He gave the answer yes. The follow-up question then was your testimony to Mr. Hunsicker that this incident happened on April 1st was not correct, and we're waiting for a response from Mr. Hunsicker.
I did say yes.
Next question.
I just want to be clear, given this back and forth, your earlier testimony today that this shelf climbing incident that led to your termination happened on April 1st is incorrect.
I was terminated on the 5th.
April 5th, is that where your testimony is?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hunsicker, as a charter employee, you received an employee handbook, correct?
Yes,
And charter's process was that you would electronically acknowledge receipt of that handbook, correct?
yes,
Judge Gelhard, I have another exhibit and
Is this from the packet of exhibits that you have submitted?
It is,
All right.
and it is marked R7, R57.
Great, let me see if I can find that.
And it's listed as exhibit 16.
Okay. It's a one-page document, Attorney Foy?
It is. Do you have a copy of that document, Mr. Hunsicker?
Give me the number again, please.
It's Respondents Exhibit 16, found at R57 of their materials. I should say exhibits, more specifically, I'll mark it as exhibit number 3 for today's hearing.
That's a one-page document, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you have that document in front of you, Mr. Hunsicker?
yes, I do.
Can you please confirm that that document is an electronic signature by you? Can you please confirm that, sir?
Yes, I believe so.
And that this electronic signature signifies that in July of 2020, you received a copy of Charter's handbook.
Yes,
Thank you. You also received safety training on different topics while you were employed at Charter.
what was the question you were cutting out?
You received safety training while you were employed at Charter Steele, correct?
Yes,
And the safety training was on a variety of different safety topics.
yes,
And Charter employees were expected to follow good safety practices as part of your job duties, correct?
correct.
Specifically, do you recall that you received fall protection training at Charter?
Correct.
Then I would like to bring your attention to Respondents Exhibit 3. And those documents are marked R14 through R29. Please let me know when you have those documents in front of you, Mr. Hunsicker.
We have the,
We have-
it's here in Exhibit 4, is it?
It will be exhibit 4 as soon as I put the sticker on it.